Fowl Sounds and Jarhead Fertilizer have made the first flanger that I actually love. You heard me right, so thank you to Fowl Sounds for sending me the drip. And also welcome back to Boring Gear Reviews. If you're already subscribed and you've been here for a minute, thanks so much, I really appreciate it. And if you're not, and you dig this type of content, consider subscribing. So my first effects pedal ever was a flanger. This flanger, the DoD FX75B. It's a cool pedal and I had a lot of fun with it, but I was never ever able to find a place for it in a band context. While I think this thing sounds great, it does sound like an effect. It sounds like it's almost like it's laying on top. Not that there's separation between your dry signal and the pedal. It sounds like you're using an effect. And then I was sent the drip. And not only is this flanger like really, really versatile, it does other things other than flange, but it feels organic and analog, and it just feels more natural and musical in a way that other flangers have not felt for me. So let's just get into the controls. First up, we have dirt. This will add saturation to the resonance control. Next, we have resin, and this will control our feedback level. Following that is body, and this is a volume control for the kind of fatten dry signal that runs in parallel with the flange effect. Then we have boost, which will boost the overall signal of the pedal. All the way clockwise will double the output, so you can use this not only for volume, but to like push the amp a little further and add a little extra grit. Rate will control the speed of the LFO. Depth will control the amplitude of the LFO. Shift will control the delay time of the flange. So clockwise will shorten it, counterclockwise will lengthen it. Then we have two-way toggles. First we have speed, and the down position will double the speed of the LFO. Lastly, we have time, and in the down position it's flange, and in the up position it's chorus. And this is cool because essentially the difference between flanger and chorus is time. Flanger's a little shorter, chorus is a tad bit longer. We've got a true bypass foot switch on the bottom, and then top jacks and DC. And that'll bring us to my lovely 1956 Gibson ES175D, which I will be using for the entire demo. And this is tuned to E flat, and I will at times have the low string drop to A sharp. That will be plugged into my Universal Audio Apollo X6, and then we'll be using the Soft-Tube JMP 2203 amp plugin. Okay, so our first clip, we're going to start our chain with the Surfybear spring reverb. And that'll be running into the Fowl Sounds collaboration with Inner Arma, the Concrete Cliffs. I've also done a full demo of the Concrete Cliffs. It's rad. You can check that out right there. And rounding that chain out, we will have the drip. You can pause here for settings. So this is just a great example of what I mean by how kind of natural and organic this flanger sounds. It doesn't sound like this great big swirly effect happening to the guitar. It sounds natural. Obviously it's not natural, but like it just has a gritty, you can add grit, but that's not the exact thing I'm talking about. There's just a character to it that I feel is more musical. It meshes, and it just feels like, at least in this setting, it's mellow enough that you definitely hear a flanger going on, but it doesn't interfere, it doesn't step on your playing, which I often feel flangers can do. The way it adds all of this beautiful modulation to the reverb that's ringing out is really gorgeous. And then the way it interacts when we're a little more high gain, it's fantastic. It really adds a lot of kind of weight and like texture to the tone. So enjoy. And next up, we're going to be using just the drip. Pause here for settings. In this instance, we're going for almost kind of like a Leslie speaker type of sound. It's a much more subtle chorusing effect, but at like a higher rate of speed. And once again, it just feels very natural. It's almost even like a vibrato. There's kind of this, if there's a Venn diagram of it all between like a Leslie rotary, a vibrato, and a chorus, this setting would be like right in the middle where they all intersect. This is an awesome example of how useful the dirt and boost controls on this pedal, because obviously it's just a guitar going into the drip. There's no other effects going on. And it could potentially feel a little stale, a little flat. But because we can introduce a little bit of grit and a little bit of volume to push the amp, we get way more texture. And lastly, we're going for a much more extreme flange effect. Here are my settings, and that'll be running into the Fowl Sounds and Desert Records collab, the Malpais. I also have a full video of this incredible distortion pedal. You can check that out too. So like I said, much more obvious flange effect. With this higher gain, it like smears the distortion in a way that really kind of blew me away. It sounds so huge and thick and gritty, but still with detail and all of this movement. But there's like a little turnaround in the flange where it kind of like twists or something. Like in my head, it's how I see it. Like it's moving, and then it's, if you were looking at it like a circle, like it's waving around, and then when it comes back around, it does like a little twist and it moves on. And that little bit, like that little doodad, that flute-doo makes for such a cool effect. I'm sure there's somebody here who knows what I'm talking about, like technically, but for me, I'm satisfied with just knowing that it's like a little flippity-doo. That sounds super cool. But yeah, big sound. When I say it smears the distortion, I don't mean to say that it takes away definition. It definitely doesn't take away definition. It just, it adds like this kind of wet saturation to this. With this pedal, it's even more impressive because this is a very kind of dry, completely bare bones sounding like heavy distortion. Anyway, it's sick. Enjoy. that'll do it for the Fowl Sounds and Jarhead Fertilizer, the drip. I've always wanted to like Flanger. I haven't quite been able to until now. I really like this. It is musical in a way that I did not expect. You know what else I didn't expect? That we'd be like 100 subscribers away from 4,000 subscribers. That's huge for me. Thank you guys so much. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing that, and let's grow this channel. But yeah, this thing's outstanding. Obviously, I've yet to find something from Fowl Sounds that I wasn't like completely blown away by. If you dig it, you can check it out in the links in the description below, along with everything else I'm using is there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, peace.